weary travelers, and welcome to the Come and Go Tavern. My name is Sheela Ornthalis, and I'll be your hostess this afternoon. Today's kitchen special is meat pockets, and it looks like Irene is currently available for a full-service package, if you know what I mean. But if you see anything or anyone else on the menu that you're interested in, just let me know, and we'll see what we can do. And I was recently made aware that our website does not have our most up-to-date menu on it, so I'll need to fix that fairly soon. It's been done for quite some time. I don't know why it didn't update, but in any case, let's talk about what we'll be doing on stream today. Today will be my 34th Final Fantasy XIV stream, and we are 2 quests away from finishing the pre-Endwalker patch quests, which means we should be getting into the actual Endwalker storyline fairly quickly today. I say should because you know how these end of thing quests always go. They tend to last a little while longer, especially if there's a credit roll involved. Anyway, we are still trying to figure out what Xenos is up to with those towers, but either way, enslaving people to forcefully summon their fake gods probably isn't good in any case. But as always, I'll be available for comments, questions, and concerns about the tavern, as well as regular old conversation, so don't be afraid to fill that chat up with discussion. On that note, hello Osiris, and welcome to the stream. Let's go ahead and switch over to the game. Okay, so I apologize, I accidentally spoke to Alice before the start of the stream. She was saying that Tataru had done some stuff to talk with people. Some were forthright, others less so, but we heard enough to form a picture. I must warn you, Alpha, now, some of their comments were harsh. Thank you very much for the coin toss. I can well imagine, but their opinions are no less vital to my report. Seek the unvarnished truth. Hand it over. Thank you. I'll set about adding your findings to my own at once. In the meantime, pray go on ahead to a little solace and seek out Elder Frixio. I'll join you anon. Well, let's head over to the East Shroud then. Nope, not here. Here we go. And we'll go see the... I always want to call them the fairies, but they're not. They're very distinctly not the fairies, considering all the fairies we met in this expansion. The Ixal is the birds. Oh goodness gracious, what are they called? It doesn't matter. We'll run into them soon. The leaf people. The people of the trees. Welcome, brave ones and friends of Brave One. How good it is to see you walking once again so soon after the meeting. It's been a while since we last spoke. Should this one perform the customary dance of greeting? No, be at ease. It is true that these ones once delighted in making walking ones dance, but no more. Horned one Kane Senna said that walking ones would be coming to Little Solace. Imperial ones also invaded Sylphlands. They're the Sylph. Okay. There we go. And abducted many of these ones. So these ones will be glad to bear messages between fighting friendly ones. That is heartening to hear, Elder. It will require all ones to work in unison to stop the Telepharoi. These ones will try very hard, of course. In matters of war, these ones have little experience. Any advice walking ones can provide would be most welcome. Oh, another pretty silver-haired one? You're in quite a hurry, it seems. Ellie say, you must come quickly. What's the matter, Alphino? Don't tell me, you couldn't read my handwriting? What? No, a Twin Adder officer accosted me as I was about to set out. Charlayan has sent an envoy, who is due to arrive in Gridania at any moment. An envoy? Could it be that Kryle has managed to sway the Forum? We shall know soon enough, but there is more. The envoy has requested the two of us attend the audience with Elder Seats here. Really? I can see why they might want Scions to be present, but us specifically? Wait. It isn't who I think it is it? It is. I could scarce believe it myself, but when I inquired as the envoy, I was told that it was one Porcino Lavelieu. Oh my goodness, that is a French-ass name if I ever heard one. Osiris, help! Your father? Well now. The fact that a serving member of the Forum had journeyed here from would be a surprise enough, but him? Quite. I glean from this that they are taking the matter seriously. That may be, but why him and not one of the other 98 Forum members? Unless he volunteered for it. Oh, honey, he is coming to try and bring you home. It has been some time since you last saw your father, has it not? Could it be that he is concerned for your well-being? Perhaps, but he has always been reluctant to discuss his work with us. Indeed, and whenever we write to our parents, it is invariably our mother who replies. Nevertheless, I welcome the opportunity to meet him after so long, even if it is secondary to his true purpose here. Oh, he's about to try and force y'all to come back to Charlayan. Elder Frixio, loath though I am to cut our visit short, we must return to Gridania. Pray accept my apologies, along with my report. Never mind, there will be time to talk later. This one won't keep walking once from Lord Urgent Matters. No. The audience will be held at the Lotus Stand, where the Elder Seats here awaits even now. Let us be on our way. Well, right back home. I have a nasty feeling I'm going to be running a lot of dungeons to try and get Mog Tomes. Because there's some stuff that's fairly expensive that I want to get, and the weekly thing that I got for my first week is a level 90 thing from the end of Endwalker, so like, I'm not going to get that. I'm nowhere near that right now. Oh well. You know, if I'd been smart, I would have teleported where I'm going. It's still gonna be faster to do that. Wait. I thought we were gonna... Hang on. Okay, yeah, no, I was right. There we go. Welcome, Warrior of Light. The Elder Seats here and your friends are waiting within. Alrighty. How yelled at are we about to be? Well, we're not going to be yelled at, but the twins certainly are. Well, we might get yelled at for putting them in danger or something. My friends, I thank you all for coming so swiftly. Word of Master Fortunal's visit took us quite by surprise. When the Alliance granted Mistress Kryle permission to request Charlayan's aid, we did not anticipate so prompt a reply, much less that it would be delivered by a member of the Forum. What the nature of that reply may be, we shall soon discover. Well, they are absolutely going to say, no, fuck off, and we're also taking our kids back. I could be surprised. I could be pleasantly surprised. But we'll find out soon. Hello.
Thank you for granting me.
Thank you,
this
Irish
audience.
Jacob, for the
I am Fortuno Leveilleur,
follow.
here in my capacity as representative of the Forum.
It is I who should thank you, Master Fortuno, for journeying so far and so swiftly. Would that our first meeting could have been under happier circumstances.
It has been too long, Father. You look well.
As do you both. Ameliance will be glad to hear that you are taking care of yourselves.
Okay, okay.
How is Mother?
She misses you terribly, of course, but is otherwise a picture of health.
It seems to be going a lot better than I thought it would move.
Circumstances apart, I'm grateful that our meeting has afforded me the chance to be reunited with my children at long last. And I believe I also owe you thanks for the hospitality you showed my father, Louisois, during his sojourn in Eorzea.
Ah, yes,
Thanks
back in the
be owed to
1.0 days.
him. In the days prior to the 7th Umbral Calamity, it was your father's tireless efforts which granted us a means to vanquish the Primals. Were it not for him, our strength would have been quite spent by the time the Empire arrived. That Gridania still stands is in large part his achievement. He was a great man.
He would doubtless have been moved to hear you say so. I must confess, however, that I opposed his decision to intervene.
There it is.
And my position remains unchanged.
Mm-hmm.
To chart the course of history, not to change it.
Yep.
I am familiar with the Sharlayan stance.
It is more than that. It is our way of life, who we are. But I came here not to deliver a lecture, but the Forum's answer to your request. Sharlayan will under no circumstances intervene in the conflict between Eorzea and the Garlean Empire.
Yep. That part I at least called.
May I ask for what reason the Forum has come to this decision? The final days spell the end not only for Eorzea, but the entire world.
The final days? Pray spare me your hyperbole. This conflict is no more than the latest in a series of petty squabbles between yourselves and Garlemald. One in which...
Ah, yes, petty squabbles that involve multiple continents. Mm-hmm.
If the final days were truly upon us, we would know.
Mm-hmm.
Father, you must ask the Forum to reconsider. You may feel safe on your little island across the waves, but if you imagine the Telophoroi will leave you be, you are mistaken. They mean to kill us all, themselves included.
Alphino is right. We have seen what the enemy is capable of, the lengths to which they'll go. This is no time to turn a blind eye. If Eorzea falls, so too will Sharlayan. So if you truly love our homeland, you will join us. Now, before it's too late.
I thought you knew better than to raise your voice to your elders. It seems I was wrong. Wrong to ever let you leave, Sharlayan. I consoled myself that your time abroad would instill in you some hint of restraint, of discipline.
It
But I
did.
see now that Eorzea has made fools of you both. Have you forgotten why it was that I so vehemently opposed your grandfather's departure? For all his wisdom, his only solution was to go to war. Death, devastation, ruin. Even those who claim victory are scarred for life.
Yeah,
What prize could ever justify such sacrifice?
he's not the one who chose to go to war.
It is
Others
the
started the
duty
war,
of the
he
learner
chose
to
to fight it.
avert such
There's a difference.
tragedy. By fanning the flames of war, you forsake all you once held dear.
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence.
I see your friend shares your misguided ideals. But unlike her, you should know better. By espousing such barbaric notions, you subvert the teachings of Sharlayan and place all we have worked for in jeopardy. Alphino, Alize, as of this moment, you shall no longer bear the name of Leveilleur.
What?
Father!
How you choose to live your lives is no longer my concern. If you wish to walk the path of ruin, I will not stand in your way.
Cool. Kick a couple of heroes out of your house.
Master Fortuno,
Makes sense.
while Sharlayan may have no intention of intervening in this conflict, we can still part as friends. Will you not stay and speak with us, that we might learn of Sharlayan's hopes for the morrow?
I have said what I came here to say. Any further discussion would be meaningless.
Cool, so we're gonna make him eat those words, right?
Wait! Don't bother, Alize.
He doesn't
How
care.
can you stand there and watch him walk away? How can you let this happen?
He'd already made that decision before he came here. If he's so confident they know everything, then that just shows how little they actually know. So that's what he came here to say? That we're all fools for having the temerity to defend ourselves against the Telophoroi? And as for the rest, like it or not, this was the Forum's decision. To watch from afar while Eorzea burns. Father was but the messenger. As he passed down their judgment, I could think of nothing to say that would possibly sway him. I still can't. To have prolonged the discussion would have changed little, for it is not only Master Fortuno's who must be persuaded, but the Forum as a whole. Your decision was made ere your father crossed the sea. Nor is it like to be changed, and so we shall face the Telophoroi without their aid. Forgive me, but if they had no intention of helping us, then why would they go to the trouble of sending an envoy in the first place? They'd not simply keep their counsel, as they are wont to do. Well, here's the other thing. We gotta go save Kryl now. Then, has Master Fortuno arrived yet? Yep. It is as I feared. My efforts were in vain. I pleaded our case to as many Forum members as I could. They flatly refused to discuss the matter. No, that's not exactly true. I would rather say that they ignored every word I said on the subject, without exception. It was almost unnerving. Could it be that they are hiding something from us? Oh, some way to explain Master Fortuno's performance. Oh, they are definitely in the pocket of Garlemald. When he said that they would know if the final days were upon us, I dismissed it as pride. What if they genuinely believe that they know how the world will end, and simply disagree with us about the circumstances? That's right, Wawawiwa. That I don't know, but something tells me they are not as concerned about the Telophoroi as they claim. If the threat weren't real, why else would they be so standoffish and secretive? Very much like to delve deeper into this, but I'm afraid I've exhausted every avenue of inquiry. Nor have I fared any better with my other mission, researching Heidelin and the Ethereal Sea. I've been enlisting the help of experts in the field, but it appears the Forum has forbidden anyone from cooperating with us. Oh my god, they're doomers. They want the world to end. So it would seem. But don't lose heart just yet. All the knowledge and acquaintances we have between us, we can still find a way forward. To that end, I would like you all to join me here, when the time is right, of course. I'm aware that matters in Eorzea stand on a knife edge, but with your permission, I can at least start making the necessary arrangements. Please do. I wanted to use the first one, but I don't know, like, this feels like too serious of a time for that sort of thing. Excellent. Obviously, keeping the Telophoroi at bay must take precedence, but with luck, we'll be able to make the journey to Charlian ere long. It may take a while to secure entry for you all, but I'll let you know when everything is in order. Look after yourselves in the meantime, won't you? Your speculations give me cause to hope. Oh, hello?
Hey, Mom! I'm having trouble with that dance move you showed me earlier.
Okay, well, go and show me what you got, sweetie.
Up and down and...
Okay, I see what's going wrong here. Give me a couple of minutes to finish this up, and I'll come help you out, okay, sweetie? We're still pretty far out from a required commercial, so, like I said, I'll finish up this cutscene, and then I'll go help her. Your speculations gave me cause to hope, yet if these seeds will bear fruit, I cannot say. While it is possible the Charlians hide some secret truth from us, there will be no certainty that its exposure will prompt in them a change of heart. And so, for the present, we must needs confront the plight in which we find ourselves. The Forum has refused our request for aid. It falls to us alone to contend with the Telophoroi. Even with all of Eorzea standing united, there's no guarantee that we will prevail. What does Charlian intend to do if we fail? Who do we pick? Go with that one. Okay, so slightly early break, but you know, it's better than late. So I will be back in a few minutes. I'm going to run a commercial, so stand up, stretch, refresh your beverages, refresh your food, all that fun stuff, and we'll be back in 5 minutes, okay? Alright, sweet. So, it's just a jump to the left, then a step to the right. Put your hands on your hips. welcome back. We are about to do the last mission in the pre-patch for Endwalker. Let's see what we can do. While Charlene's stance is indeed disappointing, we cannot allow ourselves to be distracted from the challenge before us. There's much and more to be done. I shall begin by sharing the forum's response with my counterparts in the Alliance. Meanwhile, I would ask that the Scions... Grave tidings, walking ones. Grave tidings. Calm yourself, my gentle friend. What has occurred? These ones who went to see feathered ones send terrible news. Destroying ones have appeared in Zelphatol. Destroying ones and captured ones, and even frightful godly ones. Feathered ones didn't stand a chance and were seen flapping and squawking. When did this happen? Is it too late to help them? Too late, yes, much too late. But luckily, destroying ones were only passing through and continuing on west. Feathered ones who did not fight were left unharmed. That could be Corthus. Oh, so you mean they're headed straight for Charleon? Since Corthus was within one of the gates there. My lady, these guardians report the Telophoroi have emerged from the eastern highlands of Corthus and are marching at speed. Though their purpose has yet to be determined, the Cartano Flats would seem to be their most likely destination. Lord Amaric has already dispatched his forces and requests our immediate support. Oh man, I know so many people in those forces. We definitely need to go help. Tell him he shall have it. The time has come for the Grand Company of Eorzea to prove its worth. Well, mayhap is it a mercy that we do not have this time to stew upon our misfortunes. Come, my friends, let us make haste to Cartano. Because yeah, if I recall correctly, Charleon is north from Cartano. Wait! This one almost forgot. Destroying ones were said to be led by a cackling robed one. This one must see that all walking ones know. Farewell. Thank you, little messenger. And Daniel? Oh, of course it is. Who else? It was only a matter of time before that grinning maniac showed himself again. We shall have an airship ready to bear you to Cartano. Please see to your preparations and report to the landing site with all haste. I mean, I could just teleport there. Once, my lady, let us away. I guess for narrative reasons I can't. Oh well. There's going to be something exciting that happens during the airship ride, so we should definitely go see it. Are we going to get shot down over Charleon? We'll find out. That would certainly be one way to get there. Oh, hello, Fordola. Then, it would seem Fordola here has come all the way to Gridania to find us. I've explained the situation, but she insists her business is urgent. Aye. And it will be over sooner if you shut up and come with me. Oh, thank you very much for the coin to us, Coleman. Welcome to the stream. By the by, Coleman, there is a new redeem that you may want to check out. I'm sure you'll find it amusing.
Arenvold! I can't tell you how good it is to see you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
A lot sooner than expected, eh? The day I crane
Oh,
my
buddy.
neck with you.
Oh,
Only
buddy.
because you're sitting down. Unless...
Oh, buddy.
Afraid so. The Chirurgeons say I may never walk again.
Disabled your ad blocker, but still got no ad. You're guessing mods don't get ads, which is a little weird, but also I can see the reasoning there. I could see that being true. I've also noticed, however, that, like, even with my ad blocker disabled on Twitch,
Come on,
it
Alfino,
still
could
gives,
be
like,
worse.
fusses at me about
Besides,
blocking ads. I'm like,
I didn't
"But,
come here to dampen the
buddy."
mood. Quite the opposite. All I've ever
there
wanted
they
was
go.
to fight for a cause I believe in.
Yeah, it's real weird.
But my fighting days are over. So I want you to fight in my stead. Be the hero I can't.
Okay, alright, good point, good point. I do need to hydrate.
That's what they all say, though. No one ever calls themselves a hero. Even the ones who eat primals for breakfast. It's for others to decide.
Alphino, you're definitely a hero.
Look, Alphino.
I mean,
You
shit, I
already
just
are
called him
a
that
hero.
earlier in the stream.
To me and countless others. We see you doing your damnedest to protect us all. And you're not alone, are you? There are people who believe in you, just as you believe in them.
Mm-hmm. Some things may have changed, but the adventure isn't over yet. One way or another, you'll be up and fighting. Whether it's walking or just from the chair, I know you will be.
People are depending on you. But I believe in you. Believe that you'll see it through. That's why I'm entrusting my dreams to you. Like Albert and Owley once entrusted their dreams to me.
Hmm.
There was a time when I would have borne the weight of such expectations without a second thought. But now, I know just how heavy that burden can be. To tell the truth, I'm beginning to wonder if I chose the right path. Sacrifices will inevitably be made for the sake of the ideals I uphold.
Yep.
Maybe I am not the person I thought I was. The person you think I am.
Well, then all you can do is try to be that person.
But I will say this. In spite of everything, you've come this far.
In spite of it all,
The
you're
road
still
ahead might
you.
not always be clear, but you've never been one to give up or take the easy way out. And everything you do for others. For a brighter future. I'm proud to call you my friend.
Mm.
Well, I've said my piece, so I'll let you go. I know you've got more important things to be doing. Just give what I've said some thought, all right?
Ooh, they're getting a lot of use out of that animation with him, aren't they?
I shall, my friend. And we will meet again soon, I promise.
Is it just me or is he looking a little more cross-eyed than he used to? His legs got broken, but did he take a hit to the head?
Wave and smile.
Oof.
You've got a pretty narrow view of what it means to be a hero, do you know that? You think they're all forged in the fires of battle? That it's all about being brave and killing villains? Alphino and the others will carry on their fight. But theirs isn't the only one. There are other ways you can make a difference. If you stop feeling sorry for yourself and put your bloody mind to it.
Great idea.
There's not much chance of me living the quiet life with you around, is there?
Oh,
You're
something
content
boiling there.
thinking of what might have been, that's your lookout. But I reckon you've got some fight left in you.
And I reckon you might be right. If there's a way I can still help my friends, I'll bloody well find it.
Hopefully with a few more polygons than that wrist was showing off, though, because woof. You can tell me later what that was all about, but judging by the set of Alphino's jaw, it appears to have done him some good. Thancred and the others have already left the Rising Stones. And according to the communications officers, Malja and Kobold forces are also bound for Cartano as we speak. They mean to keep the promise they made in El Amigo, and we must do the same, by saving as many of their tempered kin as possible. Anyway, the airship is ready to depart. We should get going. On joining the Battle of Cartano, several cutscenes will play in sequence. It is recommended that you set aside sufficient time to participate in the battle and view these scenes in their entirety. Your progress through the battle will be saved at certain points. In the event that you are defeated, you'll be able to try again for the most recent of these. Okay, so we get a big old trial. Please note that if you enter battles associated with other quests or log out from the game, that progress will be lost. Okay. So, this is gonna be a big one. Thankfully, my next big ad break doesn't start for another 45 minutes. So, hopefully we have time to get through all of this. It was such a simple little routine to make, but I'm so happy with it. It's just so amusing.
As I am sure you will have heard, we can expect no help from Charlian, nor are we any closer to discerning the Telophoroi's grand design. And now, our adversary moves against us in unprecedented numbers, compelling us to answer in kind. The outlook, in short, is bleak. Yet though our foes are many, and we but few, we may still tip the balance in Eorzea's favor.
Mm-hmm.
Of course. We will do what we always do. Deal with the ones our allies can't.
Mm-hmm.
A less than daunting prospect,
Oh,
judging
there they
by
go.
your expression. Could it be that you've dispelled your lingering doubts, Alphino?
Oh, I doubt I ever will. But as my friends have kindly reminded me, I have come this far, and that must count for something.
Mm-hmm.
Gods be good, Alphino. That's what we've been trying to tell you all along.
Yeah, but,
For one so
you know.
bright, you can be remarkably dim at times. There is such a thing as overthinking, you know.
Says Estinian. Not a thought between those ears.
After the battle? It would appear that Telophoroi have already arrived.
I'll do what I can to cure the tempered, but they'll have to be incapacitated first.
Yep.
Have care, my friends, for none can say wherefore our foe did choose this fateful field to be our battleground. Whatever may transpire, pray grant him not the pleasure of deterring you.
I feel like you need a horse here, Yanje. Like, seriously, that sounded like he was giving a speech about Bosworth Field, you know? Which, you know, actually, it's a historical and Shakespearean reference that a lot of people probably don't get, come to think of it. Oh, I am hella alone. Listen well, friends. The Telathroi are sweeping across Kart now. As for the Asian, he was briefly sighted above the battlefield but has since vanished. He likely intends to watch events unfold from afar. Thus far, the movements of the lunar primals have proven difficult to predict. Even when poised to ambush our troops, whatever the Telathroi aim may be, the primals are our primary targets. I love Ralbon's portrait. Understood. They will not elude the Scions for long. Oh, that's a lot of them. Okay, alright, let's, stab, stab, blast, another one, then we're gonna stab, stab, and stab, do it again, oh, I see you this way. Don't see any primals, something's not right. Whoop, and another cutscene. Okay. I didn't need those spell charges. As the Scions spread out across the battlefield, Elise and Graha take the fight to the Telathroi. Oh, hey! I switched from being a red mage to being a red mage. There's so many of them. Okay. Alright, hold up. Oh, okay. Okay, that's how she's got this working.
Allow me. just the beginning.
Oh, goodness gracious. Let's take the opportunity to cure the tempered. Ow. How do I do that? Literally, how do I do that? Where are my pet actions? Just says send him to do the thing. How do I do the thing? Y'all have not provided good instructions. Ah, okay. I thought I had right-clicked on him already, but okay. I feel like there should be a sound effect for that, just like a blah kind of thing going on, you know? Not just hanging out in the air. It feels so unceremonious. Especially for a dramatic little bitch like him. Do you see that? The glyph? Yes. How worried should we be? Listen well and judge for yourself. Though I can see ethereal currents, I had not thoroughly examined those that flow through the heart of Cardno. But now that I am here, things have become clear. The flats conceal an etheric confluence, like to the pillars of the Azen Steppe, but greater in scale. Far greater. The glyphs that Van Daniel has conjured reach into its very midst, and I believe I know their purpose. Should the lunar primals destroy them, it would spark a chain reaction with the potential to obliterate the confluence entirely. The resultant disruption to the flow of ether would sow chaos among the elements, prompting earthquakes, floods, and tempests large enough to lay waste to the realm. he would go so far, cometh as little surprise. We must needs protect Confluence at all costs. Yep, that sounds about right. Defeat Lunar Odin and defend the ethereal confluence. Alright, well. That Odin? Time has come to pit my blade against his. Follow the lead. Oh, goodness. Okay. Oof. Oh, this is throwing me off so bad. Ow. Okay. Ooh, I hate healing for things that aren't actually in my party. Yep. Ooh, I wish I was using my own astrologian bar. Ooh, that would be nice. Oh, that would be so nice. you not, Ishtola? Goodness gracious.
The best defense is a good defense.
Okay, come on. I get the idea of these scenarios, and I feel like I've talked about this before, but like, if you already play the class that these are like trying to show off, these are really frustrating because, like, I already know how Astrologian works. I appreciate that they're giving me more powerful versions of the Astrologian abilities, but it really throws off my playstyle, you know? It was the same thing with Samurai when we got to play Lord Hedon during the Stormblood campaign. And like, ugh. Just frustrating. Rejoice in the glory of combat! Meanwhile, Wawawiwa and Alice are fighting the Bug Lord. And then Grahatia just has no... like, he's a special class. Okay, well, at least I don't have to worry about, spellcasting and other abilities by nearby enemies. Interesting. Ah, okay. Lightning damage over time. Oop, and we're up. Rejoice in the glory of combat. And we're down. Now, oh, hello.
Someone's flirting with Dad again.
All right, is it flirting, or is are they just like, I don't know, stage magic kind of flirting?
He sent me to get you.
Oh no. Okay. Right, I need to finish this up, and I'll be right there as soon as I can. Okay, sweetie. Okay, he just said nope. Okay. Well, thank you very much. Woof. Okay. So, as long as we can find a holding point, I will go and save my husband. I mean, he's a big boy. He can take care of himself, but if he sent Lila in, probably an actual issue. At the self-same moment, you stand shoulder to shoulder with Alphino and Estinian, resolved to lay Lunar Ifrit low. Oh boy, okay. Is there any way I can stop this cutscene? Oh, I guess not. Okay. Well, I'm using my own abilities, so this should go a little bit faster at the very least. Reinbald and Fordola encountered. Maybe? Oh, to the center. Okay. Okay. It's going well enough. Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Where'd he go? Oh, come on! Boo! With my whole freaking combo. Oh, yay! And we can do that. Attack. 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 Did mess my combo up in there, but that's fine. We're still doing okay. Now, ah, boo. Yeah. Oh, come on! Oh, jeepers creepers. Nice. Nice. Good job, Estinian.
I will not be outdone.
Then we do that. Whew, we got it. We got it, folks, we got it. Okay. Now, can I pause? I love the Moogle sound effect.
And thus
It's a vocal.
plan went
Okay.
up in smoke. I am beginning to see why Lord Xenos thinks so highly of you. Not that this changes anything, you understand. You have merely earned yourself a stay of execution.
Mm-hmm. Oh, buddy.
How fare the tempered?
We've treated as many as we can, but some were beyond help.
Okay, I can pause there. So, I didn't think you could pause voiced stuff, but here we are. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and take a 5-minute break here. I'm gonna go save V from whatever or whoever he's having to deal with. And stand up, stretch, do all that good stuff. We'll be back in 5 minutes. There'll be a slight commercial break. Ta-ta for now. BRB. Alright, I swear if it's Sally again. just realized that I adjusted my seat height off stream, so there we go. Okay. Hear the melodious sounds of soda being opened near me. I should probably get some caffeine on my next break.
Do not hang your head so, brave scions. Though not all of our captured brethren could be saved, we are grateful for those whose minds have been restored. You could do no more, and that is enough. So please hold your heads high.
Should have been quicker. But I'll do better next time.
Well, you can do, Alice.
Thank you for your kind words. They mean a lot.
A victory at great cost, but a victory nonetheless.
Mm-hmm.
We must stay strong and press on. Isn't that right?
Yep. One battle at a time. We'll get there.
That
Agreed.
we will.
Moon. It's a thousand times. I'm just gonna vibe to this music for a little bit because, oh my goodness, Shadowbringers had a good soundtrack. Holy moly! Ah. Ooh, now we get to see some of the key art for everybody. Okay, the twins are looking fantastic. I genuinely appreciate that both of them are doing really, really, really femme poses here. Or at least very, like, over the top, very, like, I don't know. The only term that comes to mind is very cunty poses, but, you know, that's not normally something I would say. Okay, Thancred looking very good, looking very good. Love that coat. So glad I was able to get one that I could recolor for my own Gunbreaker. Green looking fantastic. There's so much motion in her art. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, Hirianje. Looking incredibly badass there. again, so much motion in this. And, like, the cards seem to have a life of their own with how they're fluttering in the wind. Or in the ethereal wind, in any case. Ishtola. Good casting pose that is. I love it when a staff stands up on its own, you know? Hi, Wawawiwa. Doing a good job, buddy. I say to the guy who's like 1,000 years older than me. Or I suppose that's the Crystal Envoy version. Not the Wawawiwa we know. It's our old friend, our past life? Huh. The nature of the soul in this game is an interesting one, because in some ways he is a past life, but in other ways he's a different person who is a part of us. That's a whole thing, you know. Inside you find light again. I'm not gonna use that anymore because otherwise I could be in trouble for doing an unauthorized cover. All that sort of fun stuff. Even though my singing voice is terrible. But you know. Alright, we've gotten past all the key arts, and while I love this song, it's a little more chill. So, as the song itself was saying, our journey will never end. Let's continue it on, shall we? I trust you all enjoyed a comfortable flight aboard the Pride of the Ishgardian fleet. Lest you worry, the Bonanza has been towed to a nearby location to be retrieved at your convenience. You've thought of everything, Lord Aymeric. May I say how much I appreciated your hospitality you afforded us on the way home. Think nothing of it. Our destination lay in the same direction, and it afforded me the perfect opportunity to learn how my errant friend has been since last he took his leave. It seemed you have finally found a place to settle down. I merely grew weary of wandering the Far East. Returning to more serious matters. While the Talafaroi have been driven from Cartano, 'tis like that the bulk of their forces yet remain. On the evidence of the Grand Company of Eorzea's first joint military operation, however, I am confident that we have the potential to meet such threats head-on, even without the aid of you and yours. As such, while our forces keep the Talafaroi at bay, I would ask that you apply your talents to the task of neutralizing the towers. A sensible division of labor. While the towers remain, so too will the threat of the lunar primals. And given our expertise in the field of aetherology, we are better qualified to find the solution. That we are, especially should it happen to lie beyond the Alliance's dominion. There is a time and place for formal investigations, of course, but certain secrets are wont to hide where only enterprising individuals may venture. I could not agree more. There are none better suited to this task, nor any upon whom I would rather rely. On behalf of the Alliance, I thank you. We look forward to receiving any information you are able to uncover. And with that, I must take my leave. Should you have need of assistance, pray do not hesitate to ask. Fare you well, my friends. Confess, I had hoped to be able to study the towers more closely, but vital as they plainly are to the Talafaroi's plans. we can discern their ultimate function, we will be one step closer to understanding our enemy's grand scheme. Should we succeed in neutralizing them, of course, it's all certain that the Telophoroi will mount an all-out invasion. And then it will begin. The one who awaits at the heart of chaos will come for us. You. And in the end, our true nemesis may be the calamity to end all calamities, the final days themselves. Yes, all right, Alphino. We need a plan, not portents. As Thancred so eloquently pointed out, we are in a position to seek information from all manner of places. Not least... Charlian. Sorry about needing to mute. That was a pretty big sneeze. According to Kryl, the Forum may have been more secretive than ever of late. While this may be related to the appearance of the Telophoroi, it remains a matter of speculation. One thing is clear. The Forum is determined to keep us from discovering the truth. Master Fortuno's performance at the Lotus Stand was enough to convince me of that. The matter beareth further investigation. I do heartily concur. Nor can I think of a more promising place to look for the answers we seek on the matter of the towers. Charlian hath ever been the wellspring of aetherological knowledge. I care not where we go. Here or there, my lance will be ready. And what of you, Lyn? Might you be persuaded to join us? Thought, of course, for Charlian. Ready to bash in some heads? Here, here. It is time we laid bare the Telophoroi's dark designs. It appears we are in agreement, then. We have but to wait for Kryl to secure the necessary permissions. In the meantime, there is a matter I would investigate. Does it involve tall structures? By strange coincidence, it does. At present, I have only a creeping suspicion, but with your help, I will soon find out whether my fears are warranted. Alright, folks. We are about to embark on the Endwalker main story quest. Eee. Learn the emote shush. Meanwhile, in the Garlean capital. Alright, Xenos, what are you up to, fucker? Killing your own men again. Interesting choice. Also, you're a Reaper now instead of a Samurai. Duly noted. Two can play at that game.
Those Aorsians certainly are a stubborn bunch. Though I suppose you knew that already. My plan to redirect the ether from Cartano came to a rather less than satisfactory conclusion. It was, in many respects, an abject failure.
Oh, to have the confidence of this little
Which
twink.
does, of course, raise the question of where we are going to procure the requisite amount. The obvious solution would be to draw on resources a little closer to home, though that would require our dreamer to dream a trifle more deeply.
Your what?
So be it. The dreamer will not complain.
Then let us begin the preparations at once. With the gateway of the gods complete, all that remains is to gather the necessary ether, and our prize shall be within reach.
I have a number of questions. Most of them including when, what, where, why, and how. Whoa.
The time has come to fulfill your heart's desire, my desire! To relieve those wretched creatures of their meaningless existence!
Okay, buddy, Apocalypse cults are weird.
While I await you, I shall drink a sea of souls and gorge myself upon the darkened moon.
Oh. Oh.
Then you shall come to me, all roiling rage and rancor. And the stars shall bear witness to our final contest.
See, here's the messed up thing. I don't think you could necessarily, like, diagnose Xenos with anything. Like, it's my normal answer would be, "Hey, bud, have you talked to somebody about these feelings?" I'm pretty sure he's very cognizant of exactly what he's talking about, which is terrifying.
As I thought, the ethereal currents have been disturbed here too.
It was the same in Thanalan. Make that every location we surveyed.
And the strength of each current has diminished dramatically, far more than could be attributed to a natural occurrence.
What tidings bringest thou from Dravania?
We took a number of readings, and noticed that the closer we were to the tower, the lower the etheric density became. In short,
the towers are drawing upon the land's ether, which would explain how they were able to carry out the summonings.
Not shocked. I am annoyed. Not
Our
shocked.
allies must be informed of this. We should return to the Rising Stones and have Tataru relay our findings to them.
Hear me, hear me, hear me, hear me.
Oh, that's like Heidelin.
And with it, the end. The fate
Ma'am?
of the star is in your hands.
Okay. That one's new. Like the message, I think we've heard before, but we've not actually seen Heidelin as an Ascian before. Weird. Don't like that that's red. Do not like that that's red. That solemn dawn grim purpose shines, and gaze is cast towards moonlit sky. Thus does our final curtain rise, your steps to guide what end besides. Hey folks, let's start the beginning of the end of the story. You have some time to talk then? I'd like to gather everyone in Dawn's respite and together assess the situation in which we find ourselves. Let us take stock of the facts, shall we? The crisis at hand began with the sudden appearance of ominous towers in a multitude of locations throughout the world. We have since learned that said structures were brought into being by an organization known as the Telophoroi. The Telophoroi's stated purpose is to recreate the final days of eons past, an apocalyptic event result in the destruction of all we hold dear. Already have these towers there's been the cause of untold suffering. Countless innocents kidnapped and imprisoned, their faith perverted for primal summonings. And unless we have a way to deal with the corruptive aura surrounding the spires, we can't even get close enough to rescue anyone. Those shielded with the blessing of light seem able to resist being tempered. At least. But after what happened with Arenvald or Dola, we need to be very, very careful about how we proceed. Yet while these threats close to home are of paramount concern, we mustn't lose sight of the situation in Garlemald. As you know, the Telophoroi are under the leadership of Dan Daniel and one other delightful fellow, Xenos Ye Galvus, Crown Prince, and our dear friend. To date, he's reclaimed his old body, murdered Emperor Varus, and plunged Garlemald into an even deeper pit of chaos. The capital has probably seen the worst of it. For a good while there, it saw the bloodiest fighting in the War of Succession. That has since changed, and in troubling ways. Aye, during our reconnaissance, air was not once rent by the barking of cannons or the cries of discord. It was an eerie fog of silence which should blanket the ruined city. The inhabitants appeared to have been tempered. With nary a word spoken, they labored to transform the palace into a soaring edifice born of nightmares. If they were indeed made thralls, it seems safe to assume that these events too were orchestrated by the Telophoroi. The army of primals is awful enough. In light of recent developments, I fear it is only the prelude to an even greater catastrophe. We need to devise a means to counter this threat, quickly before our allies become overwhelmed. We'll find a way in Charlene, I'm sure of it. Master Fortuno's comments regarding the final days were curious to say the least. Orem knows more than it is letting on. Sorry to interrupt. He just received word from Mistress Kryle. She says the arrangements for your visit have been finalized. You are to head to Limsa Laminsa and board the next ship bound for Charlayan. And on arrival, present yourselves as associates of the students of Baldessian. Come to assist in the Order's restoration. There we are. We have our inn. The arrangements may be settled, but what of your thoughts? They must race at the prospect of returning home after so long. I am eager to see it, of course. Of course! Yeah, we should set off at once. Then I'll accompany you to the docks. We need at least one person there to wave and cry and wish you a safe journey. Alrighty. Now we finally get to find out what Charlian looks like. Ooh, a new little fanfare there. Ah. Oh, I wonder if I'll be unlocking more class quests now. It's been a hot minute since I got any new abilities, I think. Oh, it's gonna be crowded. It's gonna be crowded. Yep. Oh no, I guess I did get upgrades. Is magic taken by half? Increasing HP. Okay. So yeah, that's one that I decided not to put on my Oh no, it is on there. Okay. Interesting. Let's travel to the place. Doo-da. Doo-da. Ship landing. Forward call? Did we go to the wrong place? I could have sworn I was going to the right place. Oh, okay, I don't actually need to go to actual airship landing strip. Airship landing strip? I don't know. Turning into a song in my head, I'm sorry. Wait, why am I apologizing for that? That's what y'all are here for, is my bullshit. Not sorry. I'm delightful. At least I think so. So does he. Oh, he's rather fond of me. Never would have guessed. Everyone's here, which is good, because I've already paid for your passage, and the fee is non-refundable. Thanks, Taru. The ship for Charlene should be pulling into port soon, so please follow me and have all your luggage close at hand. Wait, were we supposed to be bringing luggage? I just figured I would get there, find a teleportation stone, and then be able to hop back and forth between home. Oh, hello?
Mom, can you help me get a snack off the high shelf?
I mean, sure thing, sweetie, but aren't you taller than me at this point?
Yeah, but you have that grabby spell that I don't.
Yeah, okay, fair. I'll help you just as soon as this cutscene's over with, alright, sweetie?
They've almost finished loading our cargo. We should be ready to depart right on schedule. Or so I'm told.
Ooh, actually, this one might last a little while.
It is nice to have a smooth beginning to one's journey, at the very least.
Alright, I'm gonna go deal with that real quick. And we'll be back in about 5 minutes to finish up this cutscene and see where this goes from here. Yeah, very amazing that I discovered that this is actually a thing we can do. So, stand up, stretch, refresh your drinks, get all that good stuff out of the way, and we'll be back very soon, alright? Alright, so what do you want as a snack? Oh, that sounds delicious. Alrighty, let's go.
It's funny. Master Louis Soir came here on a ship very much like this one.
Mm-hmm.
And now, years later, the street urchin he befriended that day is bound for his mentor's homeland. With his mentor's grandchildren, no less.
That's how these things go.
'Tis upon reflection that every twist of time's river and fate's whims are brought into sharp relief. Thou hast matured much in the intervening years. Wert thou not caught attempting to relieve Master Louis Soir of his purse scant moments after he made landfall upon this dock?
Oh, really? Now that's a tale I'd like to hear.
Didn't go well for him, I take it.
Will this be your first visit to Sharlayan, Sir Estinian? Sir Estinian?
Not a thought behind those eyes.
Are we strangers newly met? Why this stiff formality?
I, merely meant it as a professional courtesy, since we are now colleagues in an official sense.
Uh-huh.
I'd rather you dispense with the sirs, especially in private company. Or I'll be forced to respond in kind, little Lord Alphino.
You've made your point, Estinian. Painfully well.
Better.
Aw, Tataru.
You're right, Tataru. You seem positively distraught.
Distraught? Me? Don't be silly. I think it's lovely that they get to see their homeland.
You wanted to see it too, though.
It's just... we're trying to thwart the schemes of an army hell's-bent on destroying the world.
True, true.
And, once again, I have to stay behind and worry that this is the last time I'll get to see my friends.
I'll bring them back, safe and sound. No worries.
I'll hold you to that.
Ah, good. You're still here.
Pori! Coulternay! What brings you all this way?
We're to assist the Maelstrom and the Kobolds with a lunar primal operation, so we thought we'd see you off before heading to the tower. Flamine and the others wish you all a safe journey, and promise that they'll look after things here until you return. We will too, of course. Aye, we your fellow Scions of the Seventh Dawn will do our part to ensure the end of the world won't happen on our watch.
That's the idea.
We're set to sail! All aboard for Sharlayan!
I appear to have dropped a cheesy poop. Oh, this is gonna get weird for a second.
It's time.
Then we must delay no longer. We
Oh,
will
okay.
contact you the
Tracking
moment
could have gone a
we
lot
learn
worse.
aught of value. Wish us luck.
Have a safe journey, and please, please, be careful.
Oh, I'm sure. What else do you think could happen? We end up in the vacuum of space. Anyway.
And so you venture forth unto the unknown. A fate beyond the horizon that cannot be divined. A future undefined and in flux. In uncertain times, naught but the simplest words of wisdom will suffice. That which lives is destined to die. Love leads to loss. Every beginning has an end. Treasure every moment, every step of your descent.
That is fair. A little negative way of thinking about it, but still.
And there, in the depths where souls and stars rest, find your truth.
What Charlian's actually going to look like.
Here. Feel.
I feel like I've performed on this ship before.
Think.
The day has barely dawned, my fellow earlier riser. Though we're hardly alone in that. Envious
Do we
of
not
those
have
still
beds?
sleeping soundly, no doubt. Called out to you, you say? I've heard nothing myself. In any case, I dare say the sea air will do you good. Why not join the others on deck? Charlian should be coming into view at any moment.
She didn't just call out to us, like we've still got the chorus ringing in our ears, you know? Oh, hello again.
My voice yet reaches you. I am glad.
Yeah, and it's not just the automated message anymore.
Hear, feel, think. And thus do we meet face to face at last. My warrior of light, guided by the crystal.
Hello. Why now, Heidelin?
After your sojourn in the First, I believe you have your answer. You have gained an understanding of what I truly am, what Heidelin has always been, a primal. Zodiac was created to forestall the apocalypse which threatened the ancient world, and I was brought forth to bind him. Yet 7 times now, those who would orchestrate a return to that bygone era have rejoined a shard to the god I had sundered. The greater his strength grows, the swifter does mine own diminish. The power to draw your mind into the rift betwixt is no longer mine to wield. Yet though it taxes me sorely, I dare not leave these words unsaid. Even bereft of my guidance, you and your companions have accepted the burden of this star's troubled past. A conjunction has begun to form, an intertwining of your time and mine. Wheels shudder and turn. Conflict looms, monumental, which will decide the fate of this world and all life upon it. When you truly understand what is at stake, and your journey has prepared you to surmount the insurmountable, then shall I honor the promise made in another time, another age.
The past version of me? The full version of me, maybe.
Keep us to the fore, folks. Sharlian's just over yonder.
I will not keep you further. Your traveler's heart must yearn to behold this unfamiliar land. We shall meet again, and soon.
Oh, what a fine morning. Oh, still a bit stiff though.
Yeah, y'all were sleeping on the floor. What do you want?
Taking a look at the island already?
Then let's go. Let's go. Might still be room in the prow if we're lucky.
Ah, the sleepers have arisen.
There she is. Good old Sharlian.
Oh, I see it.
Home. Home at last. Well, maybe not in Father's eyes, but we'll manage on our own, if we must.
You do know you're not alone in this, don't you?
Indeed, 'tis as Sir Estinian said. Forget not the comrades who boarded this ship at your side, I prithee.
We're all in this together.
Thank you, my friends. We are ever grateful for your steadfast support.
Upon arrival, we will be disembarking into the heart of Sharlayan proper.
Can somebody pick me up? I can't see.
There is no greater concentration of wisdom in all the world. I am confident that somewhere within that center of knowledge and learning, we will find the answers we seek.
That moon again. But they're all suspicious like. It's the title! You're truly in the beginning of the end.
Sharlayan, the solitary island nation of the northern seas. Where under the watchful gaze of Thaliak, patron deity of scholars, academics hoard all manner of knowledge and secrets. Once, they deigned to accept foreign students into a distant colony maintained in the Dravanian hinterlands. How swiftly they abandoned it once the first Garlean boot set hostile foot on Alamegan soil.
Jerks. Wrong kind of academics.
So averse to the prosecution of war, these men of wisdom, your would-be allies.
This feels very Grecian.
I thought they'd never let us off the ship. What's next then? Entry applications?
Hopefully they find no cause to deny us.
Hasn't Sharlayan all but severed relations with foreign powers? Those of us without direct ties, myself included, may be refused outright.
'Tis true that, as a nation, Sharlayan only forms trade agreements with a select few neutral countries. But from a practical standpoint, an island cannot afford to be overly strict with its borders, especially not if that island's people are wholly devoted to the accumulation of knowledge.
Very true.
If one submits the proper paperwork, with satisfactory evidence of identity and intent, then foreigners may be granted entry. Quite. So let us be absolutely clear on these points before we proceed. The immigration officer will ask for your affiliation and your purpose of visit. Considering Sharlayan's views on intervention, I strongly suggest we avoid any mention of the Scions. Crown has laid the groundwork for us to act as associates of the students of Baldessian, and our ostensible reason for being here is to aid in their order's restoration. Grahatir, it might expedite our progress should an actual student be seen at the head of our little group. Would you mind leading the way?
Of course. The immigration officers were this way, as I recall. Shall we? Greetings. We've just arrived and are eager to make our way into the city. Would you be so kind as to process our entry applications?
Certainly. I see by your mark you are an Archon.
Mm-hmm.
I am. Grahatir of the Students of Baldessian at your service. I was assigned to an Eorzean survey team, but have returned to assist with the reformation of my order. My associates here will provide additional support.
Very good. I have paperwork detailing your group and its scheduled arrival for today.
Oh, lovely.
And it seems some few of your companions are also Archons. If you'll step forward, we can process those applications first.
Ishtola rule.
So as worried as I am for myself and Estinian, I'm actually most worried for the twins. As former citizens...
That list is etherically linked with the citizen registry kept in the repository.
Neat. But yeah, it's questionable whether or not
Your status
the
as Archons and amended your travel records accordingly. Welcome home.
it's unclear whether or not
Now,
them being disowned affects their citizenship.
Alphino Leveilleur.
And Alize Leveilleur.
Your applications have also been approved. Having said that, the streets are abuzz with talk of how House Leveilleur's lord disowned his young progeny.
Mm-hmm.
And while such personal circumstances constitute no reason to deny you entry, I urge you to avoid exacerbating your present situation. Times are quite troubled enough already.
That's fair. That's fair.
We shall keep that in mind.
These last two are not Sharlian natives, but you will find their credentials are in order. An application was made in advance.
Name and occupation?
Nina Ornthalis, adventurer by trade. I mean, I could go over all the occupations I've had, but...
Well, I suppose that is considered a valid calling in your native Eorzea. And it does indeed match the profile provided. You may enter. And you, sir?
Estinian Valino, formerly of the Order of the Knights Dragoon in Ishgard.
Formerly, at least. And what, pray tell, is your profession now?
Guard? Pretty boy. Student of his. Empty-headed twink.
If you'll allow me... My associate is a mercenary, hired for his strength at arms. Surely you are aware of the dangers we often face on our forays into the wilderness.
Okay,
Miss
mercenary works.
Valdesian, if you insist on sponsoring his entry, then so be it. But while I appreciate that desperate times call for desperate measures, I find your choice of company concerning. Be advised that even a single misstep may have severe repercussions for your organization.
That's fair.
I have every confidence in my chosen company, dear and trusted comrades that they are. But I thank you for your concern.
I do wish I'd gotten, like, a full list of every job that I have, though. That would have been rather amusing.
It is good to see you.
Likewise. Long voyage.
Like, just to be able to, like, you know, drop as many qualifications as possible and be like, well, I'm a rather qualified red mage, white mage, black mage, Pictomancer, Reaper, Samurai, Ninja, Astrologian, Gunbreaker, Paladin, Dark Knight, yada 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 yada, you know? Just watch the import character's face, like, just as you go, you know?
Well, I had to say something, Sir Taciturn.
I'm glad I spotted your ship coming into port. The officers are born bureaucrats and sticklers for detail. In any case, you may relax and take a moment to get your land flags back. I thought to launch directly into an explanation of what I've learned and how we might proceed. But this is Lynn and Estinian's first time in Charlayan. And for the rest of you, a homecoming that was long overdue. You must have places you wish to visit, and people you're dying to see. Therefore, I propose we postpone our agenda so that you all may have sufficient time to recover from your journey and get your bearings in the city. Once you've settled in, we can reconvene at the Baldessian Annex. How does that sound? It's a fine suggestion. We may not be welcome at the Levier estate as such, but I should like to nose around the neighborhood all the same. I'm equally untethered, as it were. There's no particular place my kin call home. Still, I would not pass up the opportunity to reacquaint myself with the city. Likewise, a quick tour of our old haunts might even yield some useful gossip. The annex was west of the Aetheryte Plaza, wasn't it? I shall join you there anon. Yes, we'll see you there. Alright, let's go around and get some Aetherites. I too have places I would be remiss in not visiting forthwith, but by thy leave. What of you, Estinian? My services as a guide are yours for the asking. That won't be necessary. Until we reconvene, I prefer to wander as the wind takes me. Oh, but I could... Oh. Okay. Well, Raha, would you like to join us then? You've been gone for quite a while, and this would be the perfect way for you to refresh those dusty old memories of yours. Oh, of course, if you'll have me. Come then, Charlayan awakens. Yeah, definitely a Greco-Roman vibe here. After you, my friend. I'm more than content to follow your lead. Oh, keep him at your side in order to proceed with quest objectives. Never use the Ethernet, Grahatia will catch up to you so long as you remain in the same area. You leave him behind, however, by entering a different area. You may also speak to him and select the option to part ways. If you wish to have him accompany you again, return and speak with him at the original location. Let's accompany you. Next, try speaking with Cryo. All set? Then let's be on our way. First stop, amusingly enough, will be the last stand. The cafe on the west side of the harbor. Cryo is also now accompanying you. Lead your two compatriots to the last stand and speak with Cryo at the designated location. While you are accompanied, you may encounter conversation points. Ooh, we get information. Okay, yep. Well, I'm gonna get this Ethernet shard first. Well, Charlian, new to you. Alright, let's go find some stuff out, why don't we? With all the unusual wares coming and going in at all hours, I expect the assistance of an intrepid adventurer would be highly appreciated. I see no reason why you couldn't undertake any tasks which pique your interest. You have been cleared by the immigration officials, after all. I look forward to the day your name is celebrated in Charlayan the same way it is in Eorzea. This place is called the Peristyle. It was the first stop for cargo unloaded at the docks. You'll find the usual necessities for daily living and other imports vital to running an island nation, but also supplies that further Charlayan's pursuit of knowledge, namely large quantities of books, specimens, and samples. Sorting these stacks certainly seems to keep the attendants busy. And as usual, there's a Moogle. Hello, good sir. That is a sight one can hardly forget. The great statue of Thaliak. As a student of Baldessian, I was usually quartered in the island of Val. I would gaze upon the scholar's wise features every time I returned by ship to see the city. This path leading out towards the sea is known as the Thaliak Stoa, so named for the statue of the scholar which stands at its end. As you know, the Charlayan people prize the accumulation of wisdom above all else. Thus, when Thaliak was chosen as our patron deity, it was more a matter of pragmatism than belief, an alignment of principles, as it were. We may have honored him with a rather impressive sculpture, yes. You sure that's a him? But our faith, not so restrictive as that of, say, the Ishgardians. Individual Charlayans can and do worship the divinities of their choosing. Okay, well, here it is. Could have sworn Thaliak was a woman. And here we are, the last stand. I may have mentioned this before, but although our research into nutrition and food preparation is quite extensive, the average Charlayan tends to regard seasoning and flavor with a certain indifference. How can I put this? Food is, it's bland, as encapsulated by our infamous Archon loaf. The prevailing sentiment towards cuisine is dietary value first, and taste a distant second. There was one pupil at the studium, however, who could stomach the school's insipid meals no longer, so he quit his lessons and poured all his savings into building a proper eatery. And so the last stand came to be. It is, as the name implies, the sole dedicated outpost of fine dining in Charlayan, the one and only bastion of the culinary arts in an isle otherwise mediocre fare. I seem to recall their burger being hailed as one of the more impressive items on the menu, but not that I ever had the pleasure of eating one myself. Because you're a typical Charlayan when it came to cheap and convenient Raha. Surely Tataru has since taught you how to appreciate a well-prepared dish. We should all stop in when time permits, and sample the cafe's delights. Shall we press on? Okay, if I speed up to a run... Okay, they also move at the same speed, okay. That's mostly what I was afraid of, was that there would be those kinds of NPCs that walk faster than your walking speed, but slower than your running speed. Ooh, real quick, I'm gonna snatch this Ethernet shard. Oh, I guess we don't have any conversation points on the way. Unusual shape, isn't it? Indeed. I assure you, however, that it's a perfectly functioning aetherite. Remember to attune yourself before we move on. Oh, that's actually what I did first. But now, being the diligent tour guide that I am, I should make mention of the Confluence, a research facility located in this very plaza. Its much vaunted discoveries are the reason Charlayan stands at the forefront of teleportation technology. In deciphering the underlying principles of Elagan aetherites, it allowed us to understand and reconstruct what was essentially a lost art. And off we go to our next destination. Path leads northeast to the Agora, Charlayan's largest marketplace. Gorgeous. Speaking of aetherites, those teleportation fees do add up after a while, which is why I tended to rely on far cheaper ferry services. I was pleasantly surprised when Mistress Tataru informed me that the Scions are reimbursed for transportation costs as part of our duties, but I find old habits hard to break. But that, and I'd rather not be bothered filling out the necessary paperwork. You know, fair. Also, since when? I've never been reimbursed. But that's the entrance to the Confluence. I have no doubt their expertise will prove useful at some point, so I suggest you remember the way here. Duly noted. Gold plate armoire proprietor. Interesting. Oh. Welcome to the Agora. Oh, we missed one. Oh, dang it. Oh, well. Here you can find wares made in Charlayan, as well as a wide selection of imported goods. We also used to sell questionable prototypes from the various research institutes, but I think that practice has thankfully died out. For the most part. Otherwise, I can think of no better place to stock up for your next big adventure. Am I overselling it? I am. On a more serious note, the next stop on our tour is one which has particular relevance to our ultimate purpose here. We must head back to the Aetherite Plaza, follow the path north, and climb the stairs up that imposing building at the very top. Oh, hello?
Hey, Mom! Look at this cool animal I found!
That's an adorable little, What is
Can
that?
I keep it?
No, sweetie, we have to take that back outside. Animals belong outside for the most part, other than the ones that try to okay, you know what? We'll have this discussion in a second. Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and take my 5-minute breaks here. Everybody stand up, stretch, get some water, refresh your food, all that good stuff, and we'll be back in 5. Alright, I'm gonna make sure that he actually takes whatever that is outside. Okay, so tell me about what this little thing is. Okay, we are back. You wonder what that was that we missed. Probably just a description of the area, but still. By the way, that it was technically a dormouse, apparently. Still not entirely sure what the difference is between a mouse and a dormouse, but I'm guessing a dormouse is just a specific kind of mouse. I'll be honest, I didn't really understand what Farland was talking about that time. These little decorative features are typical of Charlean architecture. Aside from the research wing, our headquarters is in the Isle of Val. We're rather simple and rustic by comparison. This is the Nymphaeum, an area dedicated to the blessings of water. For Charleans, water represents more than life-sustaining liquid. It is a reminder of the great flood which precipitated the birth of our nation, as well as a symbol of the knowledge which flows from Thaliak's divine ewer. This is the reason why you see an abundance of fountains throughout the city, and a propensity for utilizing water as a decorative feature in our architecture. Oh, neat. This grand structure before you is the rostra. The name refers to the original public platform erected here, on which a forum of elected representatives would deliver orations and debate policy. Although the stage has since evolved into council chambers, the nature of the forum and the duties of its members remain largely unchanged. Am I boring you, Raha? You seem awfully distracted. My apologies. From here one can see the entire city spread out below. This to put me in mind of my first arrival in the First, but those who had gathered at the Crystal Tower asked me how they might go about building a new home. Naturally, my answers were all inspired by my knowledge of the finest settlement I could think of, the great city of Charlayan. And bit by bit, those few buildings grew into a town. Community, Crystarium. Almost see its echo. I see. Feel free to come up here whenever you wish. I don't think the counselors would object to you simply enjoying the view. Such memories should be treasured. For now, however, the tour must go on. Our spectacle of sightseeing concludes with the fittingly named Journey's End. Walk down the stairs to the east and continue straight ahead. Actually going to sidestep that for the time being. Grab this real quick. And if I'm being completely honest, let's go ahead. Get the one further to the south too. Yippee! Wahoo! I think now I'm only going to be missing one out on the far western side of the city. Well, I'm going to feel silly if it has us walk past all of these. We've arrived at Journey's End. History tells us this is where those who put ashore with Archon Nunkrep built their first homes. In the present day, it serves as the residential district for the most important officials and the oldest Charlayan families. You'll see that one mansion is clearly larger than its neighbors. That estate belongs to our friends from House Levieur. All things considered, we should probably keep our distance for the time being. And with that, we bring our little Charlayan tour to a close. I hope it has proven to be an entertaining and enlightening experience. Shall we head directly to the Baldessian Annex? You remember the way, don't you, Raha? We think. Down towards the harbor, cross the bridge to our right. Then follow the path below the Aetheryte Plaza. Right. After you, then. Right, we cross this bridge here, as I recall. Stick to the path and be careful not to end up back at the Aetheryte Plaza. Charlayan is full of educational and research institutions. There are still professors who prefer to establish their own private practices. Not that I ever attended the exclusive schools they run in these residences. Perhaps the twins could tell you more about them. Joyous look on Raha's face has undoubtedly informed you this is the Baldessian Annex. If you continue up the hill, you'll arrive at the doorstep of the phenomenon. But I think we've explored enough for one day. We can take you there another time. Inside with you, then. I'm back, and I brought Lynn and Raha with me. Ah, you were right about the ship, then. Hello, Graha. Nice to see you again. And it's a pleasure to finally meet you, Lynn. Heard many a tale of your exploits. Chica. Chica Sujika. It's been an age. Allow me to introduce Ojika Tsunjika, Administration Officer for the students of Baldessian. He oversees the day-to-day business of the Annex. You may recall meeting his cousin Ejika? Oh yes, Eureka. I've read the initial reports. Quite a shock to hear what's become of the Isle. But do take care to have the opportunity to rejoin the expedition. This place is like a second home for the students. The Isle of Val served as our main headquarters, of course, but we often had occasion to visit Charlayan. Whether to make use of the city's research facilities, attend conferences, or procure supplies from distant shores. And the annex here was built to provide lodgings for our members while we engaged in such activities. Ever since our former headquarters, along with the isle itself, vanished, the annex has served as our base of operations. And yet it feels so empty. With so many lost to us, our organization is a shell of its former self. The day will come when we see the students rise again. But first, we must ensure that the Telepharoi fall. Through that door on the left, there is the main hall, where we can discuss our options moving forwards. Once everyone arrives, that is. You probably have time to rest before our discussions begin in earnest. Already done the 87 dungeon? Where the Tello showed up? I don't think so. Like, I am level 85, but I'm just now starting Endwalker. We just got to Charlene, so all of the storyline stuff is still level 80. Oh, yeah, however, whatever. It's simply that we are often so busy with research, or exhausted from journeys abroad, that we would slip into the Andron, just steal a few winks. And thus they became known amongst the students as nap rooms, even if many such naps might last well into the following morning. Say the word and I'll be happy to show you to your chamber. Hopefully the others won't be too long in coming. I'll wait for you in the main hall. Right, now I'm gonna go and get the, that last one up, the phenomenon, I think she called it. Because I am an incorrigible explorer. But yeah, we know that the weird faction that Xenos is running is called the Telophoroi. We don't know terribly much about it yet. I'm sure we'll find out soon, though. There's a bunch of weirdness going on with that. As you know, anyone who let's say worships their nation, a little too jingoistic for my choice, my beliefs. You know what I mean? Giorgio. He plays good synth. Who? Oomst. Oh, it's goodness. The windy bitch. I can't remember her name, but yeah, that lady. I know her name's not Zephyr, but for some reason that's what sticks out in my brain. Feeling refreshed and alert? Our colleagues should be wandering in soon, so I suggest we stay here, wait for them to join us.
Pray forgive me. I was delayed.
It's fine, Urianger. We're all here now.
Let's get down to business then, shall we?
Come what may, we must prevent the Telophoroi's plans from coming to fruition. At present, I see two paths for gathering the information which may aid us in achieving that goal. The first involves an investigation into the change which has come over Sharlayan, not to mention the recent inscrutable behavior of the Forum.
I'm sure at least one of them is going to Garlemald secretly but quietly behind everyone's back.
Are elected from the general populace. This alone guarantees a plethora of opinion with regards to foreign policy. The bibliotheques, for example, are a group of conservatives which would have Sharlayan focus on recording history, while remaining entirely uninvolved in the making of it. And at the other extreme, we have advocates for proactive diplomacy and direct intervention. My grandfather Galef was one such member, as was Archon Louisois. Yet despite our diverse factions and philosophies, the recent vote to deny Eorzea's request for assistance was unanimous.
Okay, definitely something going on there.
Concerning was the fact that many cited other, more pressing duties as justification for their recalcitrance.
Fortuno's refusal in Gridania had those same undertones. 'Twas as if, having stared unblinking into the face of impending doom, it simply turned away to pursue something more important. But what could that possibly be?
A mystery indeed, and one which I ask for your help to solve. Our future may depend on it. As for our second potential path, it concerns a request made directly to the students of Baldessian. Our organization was founded primarily to study strange and unexplained phenomena the world over. Mysterious relics and ruins, arcane disturbances, and so forth.
Great King Magomon, Great King
Compared to our more isolationist Sharlayan colleagues, we have strong connections overseas, namely with scholars and academics who share our passion for the unknown. The request in question comes from one such acquaintance, Nidana, an alchemist residing in distant Favner. Her missive describes the sudden appearance of a tower, and the subsequent summoning of what I can only assume is a lunar primal. In response to this threat, the Satrap of Radzat-Han, the individual who governs the city-state, has instructed the alchemists to find a means to deal with the spire.
The artisans of that land are heirs to an ancient tradition, one rather unlike that of their Uldan counterparts. It is possible, nay, probable, that they have gleaned truths unattainable by Eorzea or her Far Eastern allies.
Right, alright.
They do, in fact, appear to have a strategy in mind, though it will require further research. To that end, they have requested an introduction to a capable warrior shielded by the blessing of light.
Well, wouldn't you know it?
Assuming we divide our forces to pursue both of Kral's lines of inquiry, and having you join the group heading to Thavner would seem the obvious choice. But the investigation in Sharlayan is of vital importance as well. Equal, I think, to the Thavnerian one, given that the fate of the world may hinge on the results of both.
That's fair.
Yes, it is quite the quandary. Though it is a great imposition and an altogether too common one, our efforts would be more likely to succeed were you to lead the charge on both fronts.
Oh, jeepers. Okay.
You are indeed our champion. As to which task to tackle first, we will defer to your decision. Let us next decide how everyone else might best be assigned. As for myself, I shall continue what I've begun in Sharlayan. I should also like to steal the services of an Archon or two.
That would make the most sense, yes.
And thereby gain access to a greater range of reading material. I will help with that.
Allow me to offer my assistance. I have some small amount of experience in the field of research.
Oh yeah, a small amount, you say. Some small amount. Uh-huh.
Alize and I
Mister
would
has
also
lived
like
1,000 or so
if
years.
you would have us.
Anything to understand even a fraction of what our father and the Forum might be thinking.
Of course, the more the merrier.
Right. The rest of us will make the journey to Thavner. Thoughts? Objections?
Oh, he doesn't have any
Through
thoughts.
Thavner on my way to infiltrate the Empire, and though I'm not qualified to give a guided tour, I did gain a sense of where things lie.
I'll be happy to have you along then. So for this group, it will be you, me, and Urianger.
And me.
Give me a moment afterwards, and I'll supply you with all the details of Nadana's request.
Well, I'll probably be heading there first. No, maybe not.
Consider this hall our rendezvous point once our respective tasks are complete. May our investigations prove fruitful.
I will say about half our group looks like the worst of the worst ruffians. Myself included in this outfit. Absolutely piratical. Welcome back, Osiris. Well, we're only going to be here for about another 40 or so minutes, so, you know, that makes sense. Academic research, go explore a new island, academic research, explore a new island, academic research, explore a new island. This is a toughie. Story-wise, I feel like it makes more sense to go do this first because of how many people are already in this group. So let's okay, well maybe not. Let's take a look at. Ooh, but more armor. Okay, we'll go with the armor. Ooh, thank you for the stretch. Oh, that was a good crack all the way up the spine. Thank you very much. An unsettling change has come over Charlayan, but together we will divine the underlying cause of the Forum's callousness. As I mentioned before, however, questioning the counselors directly is a fruitless endeavor. They seem to have already come to a consensus as to what and how little they are willing to divulge, which is why I began scouring Charlayan's archive of historical records, any hint of a connection to the final days. Suffice to say that progress has been slow. There are only so many dusty pages one can skim in a day, after all. But now that I have this band of willing reinforcements, the search should proceed all the swifter. Let us reconvene outside Numenon, shall we? Exit the annex to the right. Find the archives on the western edge of the woods. Apparently we can just accept both right now. I have Kral's instructions in hand. Ready to set out, and so are we. Having been to Thavner, or I can travel by Aetheryte. What of the rest of you? Another sea voyage would waste time we do not have. Kral was of the same mind, and has already secured the aid of good folk of the Confluence. We'll take ourselves there. Confluence, thou'st say? I'm afraid so, my friend. Thou wilt recall the hunt for Iceheart, under whose sanctuary we delivered thee owing the knowledge of our comrade Monbrida. She was an authority on aetherology, a field of study she did embark upon in pursuit of her parents' example. Both are authorities in their own right, and both are researchers at the Confluence. You gone to see them yet? No. I attempted to do so earlier, but to my shame, my courage failed me at the last. It hath been many times I thought to reach out to them after sending that fateful letter. Neither time nor introspection have revealed unto me the words I should speak. Thus have I kept my silence. But whether you come with us or no is your choice and yours alone. It is too difficult. We'll manage. Thou art kind to say so, but I have no intention of forsaking our cause. We shall go to the Confluence. We shall face that which hath long been overdue. Long? Long. If it's settled, then let us be off. When we arrive, we should take a look for a researcher named Kyak. A kite? Eat? Okay, just so I don't have to come back here and find the other one later. Snowhar. Whoop, wrong way. Very Animal Crossing late night vibes to this music. My directions were easy enough to follow, I hope. In any case, you stand now before the doors of Numenon, Charlane's grandest collection of books and tomes. This building is actually only an entrance, and one of many at that. The archives of Numenon extend deep below the surface like the roots of a tree. Vast halls of the Great Google Library pale in comparison to Numenon. Oh, goodness gracious, excuse me. To Numenon's endless maze of subterranean chambers. Any citizen of Charlane is free to enter and peruse its shelves. Well, most of its shelves. Only Archons are afforded access to certain restricted vaults. Dispatched Ishtola and Raha to investigate those. Meanwhile, Alice and Alphino will help me continue my search through the stacks open to the general public. Your status presents more of a problem. As a non-citizen, you're only permitted to browse the first floor here at the entrance. And so, there should be a number of books to touch upon Charlane history and foreign policy. Your task will be to find and study relevant publications. I promise you, a working knowledge of those subjects will make it far easier to spot the sort of clues we're looking for. Let us be about it, shall we? All the others to meet us at the stone benches, over there, once they've found some promising tomes. What they're reading. Those ones? Alright, fair enough. Whoa. Library. During the chaos of the 6th Honorable Calamity, Archon Yumkep founder of Charlayan, bore witness to the madness and savagery of men brought to the brink of despair. Upon raising a settlement on an island in the northern Empty, he instructed his people thus: renounce the ways of war and pursue enlightenment through knowledge and reason. Charlayans took to the heart the words of their savior, and thenceforth served as stewards of wisdom. They keep using the word wisdom, and I think they mean the word knowledge, because they've made some decisions that are very much not wise. But anyway, upon a foundation of accumulated learning, they built a homeland unlike any other, a nation born from strength of minds rather than strength of arms. With knowledge of economics came shrewd trading. Knowledge of agriculture came bountiful crops. Engineering brought wells and sewers, ending squabbles over water. Wealth and expertise could be bartered for wealth and coin. And the more their wisdom spread throughout the world, the more mankind as a whole would thrive. And so it was that no matter the trials and tribulations of the age, the citizens of Charlayan would live by their founders' teachings. For the sake of a better tomorrow, for the sake of a brighter star, they would eschew the tools of war, and with knowledge deliver the world. That does make sense. I tried to inhale some of my drink. It's not a good idea. Forever 20 summers. Sounds like a fucking Ramaian novel to me. My beloved seekers of knowledge, have you ever put learning before your health and neglected to feed and rest your body as you should? I too once engaged in such foolish practices. One night, engrossed in philosophical study, I had an epiphany. For all the world's mysteries that drive us to reckless abandon, we have so very few years of life in which to achieve our goals. Thus do I share with you this mantra. I am forever 20 summers young. Number itself is unimportant. You could be 19, 23, or 40. Whatever age you are when you discover this manual, let that be the age you aspire to remain. Through mindful, healthy living, will you extend the time available to spend upon your chosen research. Another day, another moon, another summer to grasp the greater truths you pursue. In the pages that follow, we will explore the secrets of maintaining one's physical condition from a biological, meteorological, and arcane viewpoint. Okay, yes, a self-help book. Wrong subject. Search for works that contain details on the forum or mention the history of Charlayan. Yep. An introduction to the heavens. Probably on astrology. Astronomy. Have you ever gazed at the skies above and contemplated the mysteries contained therein, speaking out of shifting cloud patterns with the vastness beyond, the sun and the twinkling tapestry of night? Some think the dome above us is to be a finite space, yet amongst the leading thinkers of our age, one scholar's depiction of a boundless sea of stars has firmly taken root. Well, we know that one's true. We actually know that one because the dragons come from a whole other solar system. Alas, this heavenly sea remains unreachable, unknowable destination. There are few indeed who can explain in satisfactory detail why our own star is believed to revolve around the sun. Right, because in this case, star means planet. As the technologists of Alag came closest to understanding the laws which govern the starry abyss, it's they who launched Dalamud and sought to expand beyond our earthbound existence. Being rid of their ancient ambitions, I wonder, has your interest in this field of study waxed or waned? What if I were to tell you that the eternal constellations were arranged differently in the distant past? Their positions continue to shift almost imperceptibly, measurably as we journey into the future. Would it shock you to learn that the stars drift further and further apart, and may indeed do so forever? Are you eager to learn more? So this is probably going to be about the Forum. In the years which followed the founding of Charlayan, civic policy and other matters of import were decided at the Ecclesia, a public forum at which every citizen was eligible to speak. Okay, I'm distracted by the little guy. As the city's population grew, however, this format became increasingly impractical. A larger number of participants gave rise to ever longer debates, resulting in significant delays of vital... Oh, there he goes again! Significant delays of vital resolutions. Various measures were introduced in an attempt to curtail protracted discussions. In the year 201 of the 6th Astral Era, it was ultimately decreed that Charlayan would transition to a new form of governance. The nation would now be led by a body of 99 members, citizens chosen from amongst their peers by means of a nationwide vote. Thus was the Forum as we know it today conceived and created. Okay. Ooh, you have a name. You're probably going to be important at some point. Roads of Old, the Colony. Many years ago, on the banks of the Thaliac, the Dravanian hinterlands, the Charlayan colony once thrived. This settlement was originally established as a mere outpost to study the ethereal sea in the year 1311 of the 6th Astral Era. Scholars dispatched to Eorzea found the facilities wanting, and their demands encouraged gradual expansion in structures and services. As rumors spread of a growing community of academics, the area was further inundated with Eorzean students hoping to share in the renowned wisdom of the Charlayans. 50 years later, the Forum passed a motion to recognize what had become a flourishing town as an official Charlayan colony. The Eorzean residents took to calling the colony itself Charlayan, which led to no small amount of confusion when discussions turned to the subject of the motherland. Okay, so that's probably a good way of explaining away an old area from the 1.0 days that is no longer available. In response, some Charlayan inhabitants, if pressed for a name, would simply refer to it as Emporium. Following the Exodus, however, goblins and treasure hunters claimed it for themselves a corner of the abandoned colony and gave it yet another name, Idleshire. Oh, okay. The following chapters go on to introduce the most prominent features of Idleshire. This book does not appear to contain additional information on the Forum or cover the history of the Charlayan motherland in great detail. Enough? Long, long ago, on an island in the Northern Sea, there lived a Rogadan man by the name of Nunkrep. Nunkrep was a student of astrology. He divined that a flood of terrifying proportions would soon sweep over the lands of Eorzea. So it was that he built a gigantic ship, assembled a crew, and set sail for that imperiled realm. The flood arrived as foretold. To their horror, the strangely churning waters drove the people towards the ocean. It was there, however, that Nunkrep's crew hauled them aboard his ark. But the danger had not passed. A towering wave approached, threatening to smash the vessel to pieces. Only moments to spare, Nunkrep wove a mighty spell of teleportation and shifted the entire ship to safety atop Abalantha's spine. So that's what all of that nonsense is at Abalantha's spine. Refugees from the surrounding regions huddled there alongside them. It was not long before disputes over the dwindling supply of food. Oh, hello?
Mom, can you help me get a snack off the high shelf?
Another one, sweetie? I mean, can't you get it yourself?
Yeah, but you have that grabby spell that I don't.
Yeah, I know. Alright, well, give me a few minutes to finish up what I'm working on and we'll be right there. Led to violence and bloodshed. Saddened by the sight, Nunkrep gathered to him a crew and his grateful passengers and abandoned the ark to those reddened peaks. They journeyed to the coast where they built a new ship, intent upon returning to the northern seas. They landed on the beach of an island and settled upon that very spot. That settlement prospered and grew, and in time it became the city of Charlayan we live in to this day. Okay. No, there's not. Okay. Oh, this is going to be a whole cutscene. Let's see, where are we at? 28. Wait a couple more minutes, hon. Alright, we'll go through this cutscene and then we'll call it for the day. Sorry, were you waiting long? Wanted to make sure I'd borrowed at least a few promising volumes. Alphino and Kryl should also be along shortly. I was delayed in a similar fashion. As far as I could see, no titles in the Archon stacks mentioned the final days specifically, so we have no choice but to start with the tangentially relevant tomes. They are even that. At present, the plan is to skim through as quickly as we dare, and share our discoveries as we make them. It would have been nice to invite everyone to the estate. We have comfortable places to read and a ready supply of hot tea. Oh, I was quite fond of reading outside. But it's not about the little pleasures, is it? You miss your home. It's been difficult. After our arrival, we managed to speak with one of the family servants and ask how things were. Our dear father has instructed the staff that even if Alphino and I were to return to Charlayan, we are not to be allowed across the threshold. Harsh measure indeed. I hope that our efforts to understand his position, and that of the Forum, perhaps lead to a reconciliation. We'll mend this rift one day. I'm certain of it. What of you, Graha? You been to visit your family? Or they not live here in the city? Well, my situation is also somewhat complicated. I was raised in Charlayan, yes, but I was born rather further away. In the southern reaches of Ilsabard, in fact. For generations, my people have dwelt in Corvus, the coastal region opposite the island of Thavnair. The Alagans founded a city in that fertile land, and by ship brought in the subjugated tribes of the Mikotes to serve as laborers. Of course, the massive earthquakes of the Fourth Umbral Calamity brought into the Empire's reign, and when the Fifth Calamity froze the seas solid, many of the tribes still lived in Corvus, braved the journey back to Eorzea. My ancestors, however, chose to remain, that they might prevent the remnants of the Alagan technology from being misused. Isn't Corvus under Garlean rule? Past 50 years, yes. Some semblance of local culture remains. This is the case for most imperial provinces, but Garlemald renamed the region Locus Amonis. When I was a boy, a nearby town came under the jurisdiction of an illustrious imperial family, the nobles of House Darnus. They demonstrated a singular interest in Ilagan civilization, and so my tribe was forced to consider a plan of action. For some time already, voices had been raised in favor of abandoning our ancient customs. For all, the Ilagan eye no longer passed to our eldest children as reliably as it once had. Fear of discovery eventually tipped the scales, and the decision was made to bury our ties to the knowledge and traditions of Alag. The last child born with the Ilagan eye was given over to the custody of friends and the students of Baldessian. Had me registered as a Charlayan citizen. Never even considered it. Give me an unkind question. Even Thancred was taken in by Archon Louis Sois, was he not? Stories of adopted waifs and rescued orphans are more common among Charlayans than you might think. Yet regardless of our origins, we are all provided with an equal opportunity to learn, and with sufficient perspicacity. And the outsiders can even earn the vaunted title of Archon. That is exactly why I have such love for this country, and why I wish it to remain a nation of which its citizens can be proud. Here, Another good reason to get to the bottom of the forum's stubbornness. Yeah, I can take a few guesses. Aside from the trifling matter of our impending doom, of course. Excuse us while we try to make some headway into these books, Lynn. More company should be arriving any moment now. Oh, goodness gracious. Okay. Do I... Yeah, let's go ahead and see if we can finish up this quest. Here can wait on a snack. Already had a couple today. You know, we've returned with our selections. Although I must say, the pickings were quite slim indeed. Mr. Kryl has already flicked through every history book devoted to disasters. More than a few were barely made mention of them. As such, we will be looking into research papers on the Umbral calamities, as well as articles written by prominent forum members. Perhaps their knowledge of the final days comes from an unexpected source. Speaking of which, might I ask you a few questions related to the final days? I'm the only one here who didn't witness the events of Amarat firsthand, and I fear I may be overlooking critical details. Go for it. My thanks. Now, where to begin? First things first, what kind of phenomenon did the ancients encounter as the final days grew nigh? Complete destabilization of creation magics. Yes, the unfolding catastrophe wrought havoc on all manner of life. The chaos extended to the ancients themselves, causing their powers of creation to spiral out of control. Fear and despair manifested in terrible, tangible fashion. Meteors raining from the sky, fire erupting from the ground, indescribable abominations prowling the streets. That more or less aligns with my understanding. If only the arts of creation had survived until the present day, we might have had something substantial to analyze. To the best of our knowledge, however, those techniques were not preserved or passed on. Sheela surmises that the closest known magic is that of the summoning rituals promulgated by the Asians. Was there aught else of note that heralded the approach of the final days? It wasn't engulfed by disaster all at once. I don't remember there being a keening sound either. Alvaro, you can answer this one. As you wish. Number of times we're debating the cause of an anomaly which had been observed in the lands across the sea. By this fact alone, we can deduce that the final days occurred not all at once the world over. It had a point of origin from which it began to spread. Others also spoke of a keening sound rising from the land itself, just before our region was visited by catastrophe. We never did hear this sound ourselves, of course, thrust as we were into the midst of the madness. So the ground was crying out, you say? If we consider the harbinger of doom, it must have been quite distinctive, and probably quite loud. I have to speak with none of Numenon's mammoths. Ask for any books which make mention of such a sound. Last but not least, would you describe how the ancients sought to quell this unprecedented calamity? What definitive action did they take? They summoned Zodiark. Yes, with Elidibus serving as his heart. So many gave themselves in sacrifice to bring him into being. But we do not know exactly how Zodiark brought salvation to the star, only that his godlike powers were the laws of nature set aright. Then, once the balance was redressed, the ancients offered up a further sacrifice to heal the ravages of the final days. Life sprouted anew, and it was these fledgling souls that tended to render they intended to render unto Zodiac. A trade that allowed them to resurrect the shades of loved ones absorbed by the primal. Or might have, had Venat and her fellows not manifested their opposition in the form of Heidelin. Thank you, both of you, for that detailed review. I feel much more confident now in my understanding of events. All that freshly in mind, it does make me wonder, what Talotharoi truly mean when they speak of bringing back the final days? We've seen what they're doing with those towers of theirs. Is forcing people to summon primals a kind of catalyst? Are they attempting to mirror the conditions caused by unstable creation magics? Or are they simply using the final days as a figure of speech? A convenient metaphor for the scale of destruction they plan to unleash? But this is all just pointless conjecture at this stage. Let us return our attention to the forum, shall we? We should keep an eye out for you, Sheela. But 'tis time we began studying these research papers. And so we wait again. Last, am I? Well, my extended search of the Archon stack produced one or two possibly useful books, but I wouldn't get your hopes up. If you recall, Urianger learned of the source's reflections from the Garen oracles. For its potential to cause panic and confusion, that tome was deemed apocrypha, sealed away in the Great Google Library. It's even less likely that knowledge of the Undersundered world, not to mention the horrors of the final days, would be left sitting on a shelf for any curious scholar to find. It stands to reason then that my colleagues, be they Archons or counselors, are perforce largely ignorant of the subject. Yet when you confronted Master Forchenal with knowledge of the Talotharoi and their machinations, he scoffed at the suggestion that they posed a threat. He seemed adamant that the Forum would know if the final days were upon us, which only supports the conclusion that whatever privileged wisdom is guiding the Forum's behavior is being kept secret from the rest of the nation. And not that I mean to excuse myself from reading duty, but whether they contain mention of the final days or no, these books could yet hold something of value. You weren't thinking of leaving, were you? There's plenty of work for everyone. Uh-huh. We've got reading to do. Okay, but being said, that should be the end of what I can do for the day. I labor for what feels like an age as Ishtola's research assistant. Okay, yep, I've got a nice green check mark for next time. So, let's head back over to Just Chatting and find a place to send you all off to, where the dreaded commercial break hits us. Alrighty then. So, thank you very much for joining me today, weary travelers. I hope you've enjoyed today's Final Fantasy XIV stream. I will be back tomorrow, Saturday, March 1st. Finally back to my regular schedule. See you tomorrow, Osiris. With the Lamplighters League stream. Until then, for more information about future streams, keep an eye on our Blue Sky at Come and Go Tavern for announcements and daily check-ins from the Come and Go and myself. I have been your hostess, Sheela Ornthalis, and if you need to prop up your feet for a while longer, we've got some more entertainment coming up soon via a raid. So let's see who's online right now. Let's see. Ooh. Nobody really within my main circle of people, unfortunately. Yeah. Well, I don't really see anybody that I feel super comfy sending you off to. Not that anybody else in my followers is bad people. It's just not people I know very well. So, I will talk to you all soon. Hopefully I'll see you tomorrow. And ta-ta for now, alright? Bye-bye. Bye. Mwah. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye. Bye. Mwah. Bye.